We're now getting you a CNN News 18 mega exclusive as we are learning that prestigious and indigenous Hindu and Buddhist heritage sites are on the verge of collapse in Pakistan. Pakistan Islamists deliberately are going on destroying Buddhist and Hindu heritage sites in Pakistan, and the government there is failing to protect the indigenous Hindu Buddhist sites there. And this is the latest that we are picking up, and all of this because there is no importance that has been given on any kind of minority religious sites in Pakistan. Hardcore Islamists there targeting 5,000 years old Hindu and Buddhist temples and sites, especially in Pakistan occupied Kashmir as well, and also the occupied Gilgit-Baltistan, Chinas, Hunza and other multiple areas in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Balochistan. My colleague Anand Narasimhan is joining us with all the latest on this big development that we are tracking out of Pakistan. Anand, the complete obliteration of anything to do with minorities, is that what it is looking like?
Importantly, good afternoon, Greya, and to our viewers, it is also the fact that they have they don't care for UNESCO World Heritage Sites. UNESCO mandates that those sites that are mandated as heritage sites under the UNESCO, nations are bound to protect them, to maintain them, and to also take care of their upkeep. Now, what we are seeing is that there are more than 25,000 petroglyphs in this entire region that belong to various kings and various different periods. But interestingly, like you mentioned, one of these areas is Chilas. There is also POJK, there is also Pak-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan, and so the entire region where these interruptions are, where these defacements are happening, including there are certain attempts even at the Sharda Peeth University, which is a conglomeration or a beacon not just for Hindu ethos but also Hindu-Buddhist knowledge systems. The university itself is in ruin. They have tried to deface and also try and break down the old Sharda Peeth temple also, which lies in POK at this point. But more importantly, this region, Chilas, has also now become the stronghold of the Deobandi sect of radicals and terror tanzeems. So there are multiple camps of the JUIF, the Jamaat-ud-Dawa, TTP and other hardcore Muslim terrorist groups and these tanzeems. So the trainees there and the people there have a free run at these sites, and what they do is they are using paint, they are using different kinds of material to try and either scratch out, put their name, or to even deface and defile that entire heritage site, and there is no corrective action that's been taken. So they've been targeting Hindu, Buddhist religious images, vandalizing them with bright and black perma paint, and these images have also, some of them have been scratched out, or those hills and areas have been written over. So these are images that are, this is proof that is coming through, multiple sites that have happened. In fact, we have some of the location details that we've got, that in the upper Neelam Valley, in Pak-occupied Jammu Kashmir, there is the Sharda Peeth. The Shatial is the area of the Chilas. That is there, multiple sites in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Balochistan, as you said. In fact, in this area of Chilas, in this Gilgit-Baltistan region, the Deobandis are actually, they have actually moved into that area. It was largely Shia population, but in the 90s and also 1988, then 2012, 2023, there have been multiple attacks on the local Shia there, and they've been forced to move out of those regions. And these places have now become terror camps and training camps for these jihadi tanzeems that largely back the or follow the Deobandi sect. Now, if it is Darul Uloom Haqqaniya or Darul Uloom Deoband, but the sect is the one that was started with by Al-Wahhab, and they follow this sectarian line, which is highly radical, highly Islamist, and that's where the mandate is that non-Muslim and those who don't follow their way need to be eradicated, and any symbolism, any image, any history which pertains to something that is not subscribed in their way of life or by the interpretation of the book by them, by the Deobandis or Al-Wahhab, then that needs to be done away with. And that's the reason why we are witnessing this. It's a sorry state of affairs, and Pakistan needs to answer to the world. These are sites, history sites, historical sites that need to be preserved. Other Muslim nations have been able to do it, but not Pakistan.
Absolutely. Certainly. certainly a lot of answering to the world needs to be done, because certainly there's no compliance with international commitments and constitutional pledges, Anand. But also learning that advocacy groups such as Voice of Pakistani Minorities have particularly described this as this neglect as systemic pattern. This is not just an oversight, and that's also something that is rather crucial.
Well, there are more than 265, if my memory serves me right, Hindu temples, Buddhist monuments that now stand in ruin. They have been obliterated. In fact, the treasures there, the lands there have all been occupied by Islamists. Even now, thousands of artifacts are now being sold into the black market, and money is being made, and that money is being routed towards terror training camps. And this is a sorry state of affairs, and this is something which escapes the notice of the nations across the world, because there are certain entities who want to use Pakistan for their geostrategic conveniences. And what is being done to erstwhile cultures is past their attention, and they don't give credence to that. In fact, there are many historians who have come up and challenged Pakistani misinterpretation of historical sites to try and delink it from Bharat and the Sharda Lipi. Imagine the core of Bharat's knowledge systems, and most bulk of the manuscripts are actually written in Sharda Lipi. And the culture itself now finds its vestiges, or the remaining portions are in POJK, and it's being slowly removed and slowly being destroyed. And this is something which there are historians who have committed their lives as part of the core Sharda team and otherwise to try and revive, to preserve, and to challenge in the academic world, and to try and show Pakistan its place. In fact, there was a recent attempt to try and showcase what was directly related to Bharat and a king who erstwhile ruled in that region of to current day Jammu and Kashmir, and Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir and parts of Punjab and Himachal Pradesh. That king had installed structures, and they tried to portray that, and it was actually Sharda Lipi, but they tried to portray that as Korean inscriptions and tried to link it with Korea and South Korea, rather than link it with Bharatiya heritage or Bharatiya Itihas. So there is this entire attempt that is happening, and it's sad that under a totally radical mind and a radical sect, there are elements, terrorists, who are being allowed to deface historical sites of repute.
Right, Anand, thank you so much for that perspective. In fact, we also have now Mr. Ravindra Pandita, who is joining us on the broadcast. He's the founder of Save Sharda Committee. Remember, this particular movement is dedicated to reviving the ancient Sharda Peeth, which is that significant Hindu pilgrimage site in the Neelam Valley in POK. Now, Mr. Pandita, this development that we are reporting out of Pakistan is a rather troubling one, which is what you have been fighting for.
Yes, you see, there have been a lot of developments earlier also. I think you don't remember 2023, when we raised our voice, when Pak Army constructed Coffee Home, which was inaugurated by Brigadier Tanveer. And Coffee Home was constructed on the periphery of the Sharda Peeth. That time also I wrote to Prime Minister of Pakistan as well as Prime Minister of India to intervene. And one broken boundary wall was got restored through Deputy Commissioner Neelam, that is the district whom I wrote directly. We have a civil society across in POK, about 150 members who are working in tandem with us. The main issue with us is saving the Sharda Peeth, restoration of the Sharda civilization, the Sharda University, which used to be the oldest one, much older than Nalanda and Taxila, as well as the Sharda Lipi. Now, Sharda Lipi, there are one or two more groups working on that. But we have achieved what couldn't be achieved in last 75 years, that we have got an order from Supreme Court of POJK, dated 3rd January 2018, when I wrote to Pakistan Supreme Court, in fact, and they directed me to POJK Supreme Court, which they called AJK. That judgment is a landmark judgment regarding the encroachment in Sharda. I have a revenue record of about 73 canals of land, which belongs to the Sharda Mandir and our Guru Swami Nandalalji. That also I have obtained recently. And we see only hardly 10 or 12 canals are there. And the Sharda Peeth is in ruins. Now, as a UNESCO site, as Dara Shikoh Foundation, as other foundations are fighting. But the real fight is that how do we open the corridor? Now, our Titwal temple, which we constructed right on LOC, which was inaugurated by Honorable Amit Shah ji on 22nd of March 2023, government committed, Amit Shah ji committed that we'll be opening the religious corridor on the pattern of Kartarpur. But it wasn't done so far. So that's very important that we have some visits of cross LOC heritage and religious tourism. There are a lot of sites. There are 37 minority sites out in POJK, which I have brought under the DG Archaeology and Tourism Department out there through my civil society. As well as we have
But
a
Mr.
very
Pandita, the problem is that there is no intent, particularly from
there's
Pakistan.
Oh yes, there is absolutely no intent. And I think we also don't have intent. Are all four Shankaracharyas, recently we pressed very hard, we have been pressing Sringeri, who have written to Prime Minister, even Sarupanandji Swamiji, who headed Dwarika Mutt as well as the Jyotish Mutt. We all have to raise our voice for the Sharda Peeth. Intent on the other side, in the occupied territory where we have 10 districts. We have in fact 10 districts in POJK. We have 10 districts out in our Kashmir and 10 districts in Jammu. Now our main concern is the Sharda Peeth and Gurdwara Ali Beg Bimbar. Those two sites have to be restored as heritage sites at any cost. Now even if they are calling these Pakistani some UN resolutions or all that, as a Riyasti we have a freedom of free movement under Article 8 of 1948 resolutions. Why don't they implement that? There's no intent. In fact, all minority sites are in ruins. It's only an eyewash that they are showing. And the recent one, the construction of Coffee Home, we have condemned it in all terms on a live TV show on their television. I have cut into pieces that Supreme Court order because it carries no sanctity unless and until our Sharda Peeth is restored. They are encroaching it badly. Our other minority sites are encroached. Now what we have got in hand is, after 75 years, we have constructed a Sharda temple right on LOC on our side of Kishan Ganga River, which divides this time Pakistan, POK occupied territory as well as our Kashmir. That village also falls outside the barbed wire. It is a no man's land. And I have been taking due care of that temple, and about 10,000 yatris have visited. Awareness is the key. We have to raise our awareness level in India, and we have to press it. We have written to UN also. I have done all correspondence with UN also, with Pakistan Prime Minister, with Pakistani authorities also, as well as the what they call AJK authorities. So we have those documents with us, first time in 75 years. But intent, as you rightly said, is not clear.
Yes.
Pakistan is not clear what they have to do. Even I, in fact, went a step further that we discussed with our NSA that there should be cross-LOC heritage and religious tourism on both sides. A few pilgrims from this side and a few pilgrims from that side should come. About 5 in number.
Right.
We have the bus routes. We have the OD Muzaffarabad bus route. We have the Punch Rawla Court bus route. Once the treaty is there, that treaty between India
Let's see,
and Pakistan
Mr. Pandita, if there is a re-looking at your plea. Thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast.